everyone, welcome back to another 1v1 battle. I am bringing Boris, Toddbringer, and his faction of Middenheim. I believe this is the first time I am playing him, actually, since I just recently unlocked him. And we're facing off against Bretonnia. So since I saw we were facing off against Bretonnia, I brought a anti-Bretonian build, at least what I believe to be. You kind of hone your skills of anti-Bretonian builds in the past couple months because you just saw them all the time. Now, they were nerfed because the High King, or King of the... No, Beloved Son of Bretonnia. That was nerfed a little bit, so it doesn't proc until the King is below 50% morale instead of above, what was it, like 90%? So they are much weaker now as a Bretonian like peasant spam. But anyway, for the rest of the army, I also have a Jade Wizard for the life spells. I got the 2 healing spells for their lore. In the front line, we have 4 swordsmen. We have a total of 5 normal spearmen without shields, 2 on the flanks, and then 3 back here. And then I brought 5 crossbowmen. And again, this is kind of my anti-Bretonian build. I also brought a cannon because I found out a lot of Bretonian peasant spammers, which this player is not a peasant spammer, but they like to sit still, so you would usually need some kind of push to get them to move. So sometimes it's a cannon, sometimes it's a mortar, maybe it's a couple mortars. This time it's going to be a cannon. And it's already taken a couple shots at this Knight of the Realm, so my opponent has actually pulled them back. They took 1 or 2 shots there. So for my opponent's army, we have 3 Knights of the Realm, 2 over here, 1 over here. We have King Luin Leon Kerr escorted by a group of Pegasus Knights, but no Paladins. The reason I brought 2 Empire Captains and Boris Toddbringer is because I was expecting to fight, pretty massive air battle. As it stands, King Luin doesn't have much of a chance by himself, but the Pegasus Knights and the bows definitely supporting him could definitely win him the air combat if we fight it in his favor. Besides that, we also have a Trebuchet, which is kind of shocking. A damsel, then the front line of 5 spearmen, and then also 2 man-at-arms on the flanks, 4 peasant bows. So that's going to be the Bretonian army. A very nice balanced army. You don't see field trebuchets often because they kind of suck. They kind of suck. They kind of don't. I don't know. Maybe they should only cost like 600 instead of 7. I believe they cost 700. But anyway, that is going to be the army matchup. And my goal for this one is going to get the Bretonian to march out towards me, which they already have. They started off in the forest, but I took a couple shots. I'm moving up my Grey Cannon over here on the flank to take more shots of the Knights of the Realm because I'm afraid of their mobility. 3 Knights of the Realm against my army. I do have spearmen, but they are slow compared to Knights, obviously. So I want to try and shut that down. My second concern is their 4 peasant bowmen. I can't just go immediately for Luin. I believe we could win this fight against Luin if I charged him, but with the support of the peasant bows back here and the damsel, that could easily sway out of our favor. So I'm actually going to do a skirmish mode. There's going to be a skirmish fight in this battle, which you almost never see in Warhammer. That was the thing you always saw in Rome too, but never this. So we're going to just be taking more pot shots at the Knights of the Realm back here. I just pulled my Great Cannon in range, and I'm getting our 5 crossbowmen, and I'm going to put them in range to apply pressure to my enemy. And you can see they're actually going to march their 4 crossbowmen out, and they are putting their trebuchet on our crossbowmen. We actually got a couple good hits there. Then over here, what I'm doing with this tactic, I am pulling our forces out. I don't plan to engage. I just want these bowmen to fire, or at least face our lord, to buy time for my crossbowmen to get in range and just fire freely. That is why I'm even moving over here. Not to fight, but just to get these guys to draw their attention over this way so then we can start getting some shots and win this skirmishing battle. Meanwhile, we have the Great Cannon just going to continually be firing at the Knights of the Realm. You can see my opponent does not want to engage quite yet, or else they would be charging me. So yeah, so I'm seeing if this is going to work. Of course, I do not want to engage, and we do get 2 of the peasant bows to start shooting over here. But the thing is, we're going to be flying kind of right over them, so we're not going to take many shots. So we got 2 of them away from the attention of our crossbows, which is a good thing. This was the entire plan. Plan is a success. We are running away from the Pegasus Knights, and we're going to try... I think I go back this way? I'm not sure. But there we go. We have the salvos opening up on these peasant bowmen. Maybe that was against the Pegasus Knights accidentally. But yeah, you can see 2 of them, or at least 1 of them is still firing towards our lord, which is exactly what we want, because we want to win this skirmishing battle really quick and shut down all their archers, because I'm worried about them firing into my lord in the air battle that will inevitably come. But we do have the 5 crossbowmen against the 4 peasant bowmen. They do have the support of the trebuchet. I got a little too close here because the King Luin and the Pegasus Knight was over here, so I got a little courageous and charged one of the peasant bowmen, but we did manage to terrify them and rout them off briefly, which even gives us more of an advantage with our 4 crossbowmen now against their 3 archers, one of which is now routing. There are only 2 left. I did take a lot of damage from King Luin and the Pegasus Knights on the charge, but luckily I do have the Light Wizard, so you can see I cast the healing, I don't know what the spell's called, Regrowth. I cast Regrowth on Boris Toddbringer to get his health back up, and now the Pegasus Knights and King Lewin are going to withdraw. And you can see, since we charged this Peasant Bowman, since I distracted another one, since I also had them outnumbered, we're going to win the skirmishing fight. So we are shutting down their archers, and we're going to have the crossbowman superiority, which is a great thing. A great thing. And this entire time, we have been nailing one of the Knights of the Realm, because they've been, I'm assuming, micromanaging their archers and their flying forces, and now we're just going to collapse on the one unit that is remaining. They do still have 2 peasant bows, but they have been significantly damaged. This is the one that ran off from Terror, and we still have 4 and a 5th intact crossbowman back here. So that is, boom, that is a victory. Plan was a success. I am very happy about this. Now I can freely engage their infantry with no worries about the peasant bowmen just kind of sniping down individual units one at a time. That is a very powerful part of the Bretonnian infantry force, is their bowmen, and we managed to shut them down. The plan worked. And now, since their archers are now gone, the player is going to start charging our position, which is a smart thing to do, or else we'll just pummel them with crossbowmen. So I'm going to withdraw our crossbowmen, and then I'm going to eventually give the attack order for our infantry to engage the spear line. Again, our swordsmen can beat spearmen, no problem. Knights of the Realm are getting over here towards the cannon, so I'm going to disengage 2 of my spearmen to protect the cannon. I'm getting a 3rd one nearby to support them as well. Not too worried about this with the 2 spearmen and this guy. You can see King Lewin is making a run over here, so we're just going to respond by getting our army over there. And I'm making sure that I'm keeping my Jade Wizard in range of my heroes. The point of this Jade Wizard here is to keep my heroes alive in the fight of, in the air fight that's going to be coming. And also, occasionally, if needed, I will do the AoE heal on our frontline soldiers. So here we go, our frontline soldiers are going to be engaging against the Spearmen. We have the Knights of the Realm going to be coming over here. Now, fortunately for me, because I guess they're micromanaging a lot of things, and hey, it's hard to micromanage. I know it's easy to just kind of look at this and be like, oh, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? Well, in the heat of the battle, it taxes, maybe it's just me. It taxes me a lot. So the damsels actually way back here still. They were not moved up with the rest of the army. They are starting to move up now. My enemy finally realized the problem. Now we're nailing the 2nd Knights of the Realm because I guess the opponent's just not ready to charge, seeing that I have 2 spearmen nearby and then a 3rd one over here. Our crossbowmen here are going to try and reroute this one peasant bowman that's left, and we did that. Now I'm going to cast a regen on these 2 swordsmen. I'm going to give the buff from Boris Topbringer, the stand your ground, to help them win this fight against the spearmen. And then I'm going to bring Boris back over here because you can see King Lewin and the Pegasus Knights are coming in. But now I have all my skirmishing units available. The Trebuchet is kind of nailing us, but now we're going to hit the Paladin group, or not the Paladin group, sorry, the Pegasus Knights, and my heroes are going to go after King Lewin the Uncur. So we're going to hit these guys in the back with 5 crossbowmen groups. I'm also casting the regrowth again on Boris Topbringer because I know he's going to be focused down. So the healing and the physical resistance is negating the damage he's receiving from the Pegasus Knight and the King Lewin the Uncur. So you can see just how powerful that spell is in your hero-on-hero fight or lord-on-lord fight. And you can see we've actually regenerated the entire amount that could, which is 2,700. We've already regenerated that with the 2 heal spells. And with the regeneration, with the superiority of our crossbowmen, we are going to win the inevitable air fight. The Knights of the Realm tried to charge in. They did get to my Great Cannon, but we have 3 spears nearby, so we're going to fight them. The other Knights of the Realm over here did do a really good rear charge on my swordsmen and spearmen over here, so they are routing this group, and I believe they may route the swordsmen. But again, the rest of my sword... Here comes the common spell, by the way, which you don't see often. It looks awesome, but did not really hit too much because I was moving our units away. It takes so long to actually cast, so if the opponent is paying attention like I was, I moved our crossbowmen out of its range. We have a Curse of the Midnight Wind being dropped, but it is a little too late because my opponent forgot to move the damsel nearby to support the battle. So King Lewin is routing off, the Pegasus Knights are routing off. I'm getting my Empire Captains into this one group, and the Trebuchet to silence them down. And then Boris Topbringer is going to come after the damsel. And you can see our left flank is, I believe, going to collapse, maybe not. They did at least get one of these units, and they're going to do another rear charge. But the thing is, we're fighting in a forest. Another reason why I wanted the Bretonnians to come to me, because I wanted to negate some of their mobility and power of the knights by having them fight in a forest. So that is working as well. We've routed the Knights of the Realm over here with the Spearmen, and now it is just only a matter of time. So good game to my opponent. I know we kind of won handedly here, but it's because, again, this army was built to counter Bretonnia specifically, because I've fought them a lot over the past couple months. So yeah, my opponent, the only mistake I would say is not bringing the damsel in to support the frontline fight. And hey, that happens. I have forgotten casters way in the back because I don't have them grouped in with my main army. So when I move them up, I'm like, shit, where's my caster? Listen, it's easy to lose track. So that's the one mistake. Besides that though, it's hard to beat this army as, well, I think it's kind of hard to beat this army because the swordsmen beat spearmen, hands down. I have a lot of spearmen to counter cav that come in. We had the great cannon to hit cav, our air force, and this one was superior because my opponent opted for the Pegasus Knights instead of the normal like paladin build. I guess maybe because the hero nerf with the push and toughness thing. But the thing also on our favor is the Jade Wizard addition to the army makes your like hero squad that much more powerful. That regrowth skill, giving a person vast regeneration, it's really fast, and physical resistance on top of that. It negated all of the, you saw it negated all of King Luin's damage and those Pegasus Knights. It is such a powerful spell, and that's why I was holding on to it. That's why I put the Jade Wizard. The Jade Wizard was here to make sure my heroes beat their heroes, my lord beat their lord. So again, it's a hard counter, and the Jade Wizard's such a good addition to the Empire. Like it's insane. It's insane the amount of damage that thing can negate. So it just makes Empire that much stronger. Jade Wizard is so good. They're so good. The Rico Troll is so good. And then I had the AoE heal spell for my frontline too. Like there's so many good casters. What I'm saying basically is please CA buff the Medal of Lore to bring it up into line with the rest of the lores. There are some decent spells in the Metal lore, but there's just so much better spells in other lores. Just give the Metal lore some love. For the kills here, 27 on Boris Todbringer. Empire Captains did really well. Great Cannon, 49 kills on the Knights of the Realm. That was actually another mistake. They kept the Knights of the Realm on the edge of my Great Cannon for far too long instead of just pulling them back. Because eventually I wouldn't be able to move my Great Cannon to hit them if they just kept falling back. But I guess that's two mistakes then. My crossbowmen line, I just had more of them and was able to distract their peasant bows. So we crushed their peasant bows with ours again. Listen, you play against the Bretonnian spam of infantry a lot. Again, this is not Bretonnian spam, but the past couple months, it's all it's been. So I got into the practice of getting just a ton of crossbowmen. They have higher armor. They can, in theory, go one-on-one against the Bretonnian archer. It does also help if you have a healer nearby and if you manage to distract the peasant bows. So they did really well. Swordsmen, they beat spearmen, hands down. Without the help of the Curse of Midnight Wind, they beat them even more. The Trebuchet got a lot of kills. 57 is pretty good against my crossbows. They shut down basically one crossbow, which is really nice. But unfortunately, the king and his paladin escorts were just kind of outclassed there at the end, or outnumbered, and they couldn't get through the healing of the Jade Wizard. You saw in the initial engagement, like they brought Boris down to half in a couple of hits. So if I didn't have that Jade Wizard at the end, it's very possible Boris would have at least been routed off the field if I did not have that healing. That's just how powerful the Jade Wizard is to keep your people alive. So good game again to Jeebus Crust. And let's go watch that battle again in a cinematic view. Run, Boris! Run! Whenever there is an actual skirmish battle, I get so excited because you just don't see that in Warhammer. You never, well, I can't say not never, but almost never see just archers on archer combat without the infantry moving up. Now, in this case, it didn't work out for my opponent, but this just made me really excited. Kill those peasants using their filthy bows. And the way you gotta win this, I'm not sure. Was my opponent focusing down? I think they were. Hopefully they were. But yeah, the way to win the skirmishing battle, you just gotta take one unit at a time. Have everything fire at one. Don't try and have everything fire like one-on-one, one-on-one, one-on-one. Just focus down really quickly. Again, like, you would see this every time in Rome, too. It would always be, you know, slingers versus slingers, or archers. Slingers would win. What was, like, the slinger unit in Rome, too? Oh, my God, what were they? What was their name? I can't remember now. Damn it. But there was just, like, one slinger group that was the skirmishing unit of the game. I wish, like, Polaric slingers? Is that? No, I don't know. Boris Todbringer is so cool. With that, let's actually pause real quick. In case you don't know, what makes him really cool is his unique ability. Whenever a unit within 45 meters, leadership below 50%, they get negative stats and leadership. So, what's it called? Crush the weak. So, if they're starting to lose combat, they're just going to lose it that much quicker. So, he just, boom, it's like instant. And then they start getting affected by terror if you have him on a griffin. It's just so cool. It's so cool.
It will be done.
Boris is a really good addition, or really good change to Boris in the last patch with that addition of the Hex. Really makes him worthwhile. Really cool. Also, blue Middenheim. Looks cool. Oh god. Watch out! Yeah, that one hit. That one hit. This staring contest between Lewin and or dancing contest, just maneuvering around each other through most of the game. Now, I probably could have just ran out there in the beginning or at this point and just charged them and maybe won, but there was really no reason for me to do that. I had the advantage with my crossbows back here. I had my Jade Wizard back here. At this point, like, I just had to sit back. If I had charged out there, that would have probably been a mistake. Like, in my last episode, I told you I got cocky. I gotta not get cocky anymore. Even if it looks like we may win, as soon as you start disrespecting your opponent or not respect them enough, things can turn. So I was not going to give it the advantage of having the crossbows nearby. Hopefully you see those Knights charge here in a moment. Here they come. Knights are so cool. Not the best charge, but they do get slower when they enter a forest, so they still look cool though. Oh, I missed the fight. It was at this point where I popped the weapon increased damaging potions of the 2 Empire Captains too, so like King Lewin just melted. Boris took so much damage, but man, that Jade Wizard, just MVP. You see this Comet spell come in. It almost got me, got all of us. Actually, it may hit some of us. It just takes so long. So long to actually get, oh my god, though. That looks so cool. Props for bringing that spell. Like, I don't ever see that brought. It can do damage, but it costs like 20 mana or something. 20 wins of magic. Something very expensive. They did get our great cannon crew. But these knights paid for it with their lives. Harmonic convergence. Yeah, not having that damsel there at the beginning of the infantry fight is unfortunate. That's gonna be it. Thanks for watching, everybody. My first time bringing Boris. He is just really cool. He's a cool lord. He's a cool addition. Empire, they just keep getting stronger. I don't know if they'll ever lose the top slot just because of just how many different armies they can bring. They're so flexible. The addition of that Shadow lore and the Life lore. I think the Life lore is a little stronger in their army than Shadow Lord, but Shadow Lord can do a lot of work too. But I think you'll see Jade Wizards more than Shadow. Just my guess. But anyway, thanks again for watching, everybody. I will see you all in the next battle. Have a good day.